when there is a current crisis, one has to deal with the current issue that is hurting people today, and that's normal. One has to deal with it. But other issues don't go away. So we have to keep a balance between putting a lot of energy into those things that are currently today, tomorrow, are hurting society and finding solutions to them, and at the same time continue to spend time and resources on the issues that are perhaps a little bit longer term, but nevertheless they are important. And that's also that's part of the engagement that governments and the specialized institutions have to have with the people, with societies. And that's why in C2G we've always been very much promoting the idea of broad, inclusive conversations about these issues. So you can bring together the different constituencies, the different stakeholders, and address those issues in a conversation that will then hopefully help us to address both the immediate crisis and the longer term issues that are challenging us. It can go still in two different ways, and one way is that people, governments, countries turn inward, my country first, and try to solve these issues to the best of their abilities within their countries, within their specific regions. Or alternatively, people and governments will say that we're all in this together as a globe, and only through international cooperation can we properly address these issues. We don't know where this is going to end up, but these two options are possible. What is important to recognize is that in either case, the world will need institutions at the national level and at the international level to address those issues. People are increasingly realizing the importance of public institutions, such as governments, to address the crisis, both at the national level and at the international level. And if that process can help to rebuild the lost trust, because people have lost trust in public institutions in many parts of the world, if that can be changed and the trust can be rebuilt, then maybe societies and governments will be able to strengthen those institutions, those government institutions at the national level, and there's of course the international institutions within the United Nations. The World Health Organization is a perfect example of what's needed to be more effective, better funded, to be able to address the pandemic crisis, and maybe we need to strengthen certain institutions to deal with the climate change crisis in the future. Climate change as a whole is slipping down on the list of priorities of governments. And that's right, because that's the way it has to be. There's a current crisis that has to be dealt with. So we just hope that the issue of climate change will come up sooner than later, so that we can deal with because that crisis is not going away. It's still there, and the globe is still warming.